Carcinovians. Yes, the Carcinovians. Alright, lads. Right, what we're going to do in this stream is I'm going to explain to you why most men will fail with cold approach in 2026, and by watching this live stream all the way through, we're going to make sure that you are not one of these men. So, a little update before we get started. Because my mission this year is to completely dominate the dating space, especially when it comes to daytime call approach. Nobody else in this space can compete with me. So my plan for this year is to completely monopolize everything. And the way that I'm going to do that is simply by providing more value to you than anybody else. Because I think that is the new meta in 2026. It's not necessarily testimonials. It's not necessarily social proof, it's value. That's the only thing that matters in 2026. I think we're living in a trust recession right now. Every man and his dog claims to be a fucking dating coach. They're everywhere. They're like the fucking plague. But I understand over these past 5 years, after making well over 1,000 videos at this point, documenting my entire process, I understand nobody can compete with the value that I've provided. So I just want to give more in 2026. I want every man who wants to be successful with cold approach to be successful with cold approach. And the way you're going to do that is by consuming the content that I put together for you. So a lot of you will already be aware that I put together a free school community, which gives you over 60 hours of the best cold approach content that's ever been produced. And you can get it right now by clicking the first link underneath this video. But I want to take it a step further, because what I'm going to be doing inside of this school community is every single month I'm going to be doing a live Q&A. Okay, so this is your opportunity to ask me direct questions regarding your unique situation, and it's completely free. So what we're going to do is this coming Sunday, so January the 11th, I'm going to be hosting the first live Q&A inside of the school community. So it's going to happen at 4 p.m. UK time. So all you need to do is hit the first link below this video. You can access the free school community. You'll get instant access to over 60 hours of my best content. Because I understand that when people first come across my stuff on YouTube, there's so many videos, there's so much content, it can feel overwhelming. You almost get selection paralysis. Like if you go to a menu, if you go to a restaurant and then there's over 500 dishes, you don't get excited, you get overwhelmed. So I've strategically curated my best content that all you need to do is access the free school community and everything you need to dominate the dating game, specifically using daytime cold approach in 2026. You can access my best content right there. And this coming Sunday, the 11th of January, 4 p.m. UK time, you'll be able to get on a live stream with me, which has live participation. Because I don't allow live participation on these live streams because, quite frankly, for whatever reason, these live streams, they attract a lot of low frequency individuals who just want to spam. So if you want to be able to get help and guidance from me completely free, then just access the free school community, first link below this video, and you can hop on a live Q&A with me this Sunday, 4 p.m. UK time, the 11th of January. I think that's a great way to start the new year. So yeah, let's go balls deep in this stream. I want to explain to you why most men will fail with daytime call approach in 2026, and by the end of this, you'll make sure you're not one of those guys. So let's start off with a really simple one, which a lot of guys, they oftentimes avoid. A lot of guys fail with most things in life because they never know what it is that they actually want. So before you even start to go balls deep and do your approaches, what I need you to do is just get crystal clear on why you're doing this. And you've got the reason, and then you've got the real reason, right? Because, for example, let's say you want to build a really great body. You might want to build a really great body because you want to look good on your next holiday. That's the reason. But then the real reason is you probably want some form of validation. You probably want some form of status. Maybe you were bullied for being fat as a child. So building a 10 out of 10 physique is your way of taking care of that lost little boy inside of you. So I think when it comes to daytime call approach, you need to get brutally honest with yourself why you're actually doing this. Because if you're anything like me, the reason why I started Daytime Cold Approach in 2020 was because I wanted to stop feeling like a fucking loser, right? Back then, I was a porn addict, right? I was watching porn every night. I was beating my meat off into a fucking sock. I had erectile dysfunction. So even when I did bring women back to my grotty apartment, my dick didn't work. So I spent the rest of the evening crying into my heart-shaped pillow, going on Reddit asking how to overcome erectile dysfunction. So for me, Daytime Cold Approach was a way of reclaiming my masculinity. Yeah, it was a way of me taking back control of my life and not feeling like a down and out loser anymore. And I wanted a way to reliably and consistently bring higher quality women into my life. I was at a point in my life where I couldn't use dating apps because I was too ugly back then. Nightclubs were closed and I couldn't get women through my social circle because I had no fucking friends. So Daytime Cold Approach became the only viable option. And if you're watching my content, maybe you're in that position right now where you've tried everything else, but nothing else is yielding the results that you want. And you've come to the conclusion, like I did, that it's just the skill of talking to people, right? I think that in 2026, where the majority of men are slaves to the algorithm, they're outsourcing their confidence and their masculinity to screens and technology. I think if you can unlock this decentralized skill in 2026, the world's going to be yours because you've got this rare ability to strike up conversations with attractive women. Because most guys want to do this. This is a realization that I've had. I don't care who you are. Whenever you leave your house, there'll always be women who you want to strike up conversations with, right? And a lot of guys cope. They're like, oh, this is creepy, this is low value, when reality is you're just scared, right? You're scared of not receiving love from the feminine. You're scared of being rejected. You're scared of looking like a bit of a tit in public. But the thing I love the most about Daytime Cold Approach is it's the most aggressive form of self-development, right? It holds a mirror up to who you are as a man. Most men will look away. But when you start on this unorthodox odyssey of Daytime Cold Approach, you will feel the improvement day by day in yourself. For me, I don't know about you, it made me want to be a better man. It made me want to continue improving on myself. It made me look at the rest of my life and think, okay, where else am I playing it safe? Where else could I improve? Where else could I explode? So when you're starting with Daytime Cold Approach, I think it's important for you to know what it is that you want. Like, what do you want from this? Because the first thing that I say to guys when they start working with me is, what do you actually want? Like, what's the goal here? In 90 days from now, where do you want to be? What sort of life do you want to have? Because for you, you might want to get yourself an incredible girlfriend, a beautiful 10 out of 10 girlfriend 90 days from now. And the reason why you want that, fuck knows. I don't know you as a person. Maybe you want to be able to walk into a venue and have all eyes on you. You might want other guys to look at her and look at you and think, fuck, fair play. That guy's got it. I have no idea how he got her, but fair play. Respect, dude. Maybe you want a great, beautiful girlfriend because you think that's what you deserve. Yeah, maybe you've been putting a lot of effort into your business, building status, building your value as a man, but your dating life hasn't caught up with your professional success. You feel out of balance. You feel as though, well, I've achieved all these things. I've got the nice lifestyle. I've got the nice apartment. I've got the cash. I've got the physique, but I still don't have the women. Yeah, maybe society told you, build it and they will come. Oh, be a high value man. Just live your life, bro, and women will find you. You know, this bullshit passive energy that gets spurted online. Ignore women for years, bro. Ignore women till you're 38, and then the woman of your dreams will magically knock on your door saying, I'm ready now. I think this is a passive approach to life. Yeah, if you want to make money or build a better body, you don't get told, oh, just wait, bro, it'll find you. You know, the body will find you. The money will find you. It's like, fuck off, dude. Like, that's just not how the world works. If you want something, you put in the reps to get it. And also understand, this is an identity game as well. So you're not going out there to chase women. You're going out there to chase an identity. It's who do you need to become to live the dating life that you want. And it's not about belief at the start either, because belief won't get you very far. If I believed in myself 5 years ago, I'd still be wanking myself off into a sock. Yeah, belief is not going to do anything for you when you first get started with cold approach or going to the gym or building a business. To say believe in yourself at the start is fucking stupid because you've got nothing to believe in. What you need to do is you need to prioritize the behavior of a man who's already winning. And this is why chasing the identity will get you what you want in 2026. Most guys are going out there and they're chasing women. That's the wrong way of doing it. You need to fall in love with your future. You need to fall in love with the idea of yourself who can get the things that you want. And you mimic the behaviors of the man who's already winning because you are what you pretend to be. It's not fake it till you make it. It's act as if. Yeah, so if you know you want to have a 10 out of 10 girlfriend this year, then what character traits do you need to embody? Well, you probably need to become a risk taker. You probably need to become somebody who minimizes the time between thought and action. You probably need to get around guys who are living the life that you want to live because you'll become successful through osmosis. You probably need to cut out a lot of toxic habits, a lot of toxic people. Maybe you need to move location. Maybe you need to change city. Maybe you need to stop consuming so much on social media. Because I don't know about you, but a lot of guys these days, they've got a consumption issue. They think that more content is going to fix their dating lives. Free content's going to do fuck all for you. Free content is great to get started. That's how I got started 5 years ago. But after 6 months of doing the whole solo grind, I started to get coached because it wasn't an information problem that I was lacking. It was an implementation problem. I needed accountability. I needed support. I needed the right systems in place so I didn't lose my momentum. And I was a magician for 10 years. I spent a decade of my life as a magician. And even I got coached 6 months into learning cold approach because I didn't know what I didn't know. I thought that being a magician would allow me to transfer all of my social abilities onto the women. And I was wrong because I was very good socially. I was terrible seductively. So my conversations with women, they were pleasant, they were engaging, they were entertaining, but they weren't really turning women on. It's a different set of skills. You might be somebody right now and you've got no problem starting conversations with strangers. You've got no problem in everyday social situations where everything feels safe. But when you're speaking with a woman you're really attracted to and you need to become more polarizing, you need to challenge, you need to disagree, you need to be able to express your opinion without apology. You need to learn to stop pedestalizing beauty. Maybe like me, you didn't have a lot of women growing up, so you live in this state of perpetual scarcity where, oh, I need to cling on to these women, right? You might even be in a relationship right now or a situationship where you don't want her, you just want someone, and your loyalty is based off of scarcity. So when I say you need to fall in love with an identity, it's becoming the most abundant version of yourself. If there's one thing you take away from my content, abundance is the antidote to all of your anxieties because the person who has the most cares the least. Abundance is not always having, it's knowing you can have. Abundance is not always having, it's knowing you can have. So once you become exceptional at the skill of daytime cold approach, when you know you can get dates on demand with wife-worthy women, you're not dependent on a screen like most men are today, it changes the way you show up in the world. Yeah, if you know you can have, then you're not needy. Yeah, imagine a world where you're dating a woman and the relationship just isn't working. Imagine being the most abundant version of yourself where you have the power to walk away, where you know you can replace these relationships and actually allows your relationships to be the healthiest that they've ever been. Because the reason today that most relationships, loyalty is based around scarcity, your woman needs to know that you can replace her. That's what keeps the relationship healthy. I think that when your relationships come from a place of abundance, so out of all of the options that were available, you chose her, that's one of the most magical places to be. And it took me a long time to get here, but I owe it to the skill of daytime cold approach. And I think the beautiful thing about daytime cold approach is it will turn you into a man, right? You'll learn emotional resilience. You'll learn you're not as fuckable as you thought you were. You'll learn how the world is as opposed to how you want it to be. You'll stop seeing relationships as these Disneyfied, romanticized things. It's like, nah, the dating marketplace, it can be ruthless at times. It allows you to become more rational, right? Daytime cold approach. Girls will flake on you. Girls will reject you. You'll get harsh blowouts. Your friends will probably try and shame you for wanting to go out and improve yourself. It's the most aggressive form of self-development on the planet, but I think that in order for you to get the results that you want from daytime cold approach this year, it's important for you to define what it is that you want. Do you want a girlfriend? Do you want a wife? Do you want to become a social beast? Maybe you felt like whenever you're speaking with women, it's not really you in the conversations. Maybe you feel socially stifled right now, where you're in social situations and you know you could be doing more. You know you could be the life of the party. You know you've got it in you to be doing more than you're currently doing. But for whatever reason, maybe it's conditioning, maybe it's shame, maybe you're still replaying the same moments in your mind from 5 years ago. Maybe you're still living an identity of the person you don't want to be anymore, and it's castrating you of your confidence in social situations. The best thing that I can say to you, and something that I say to my clients all the time, and advice that I give to myself, is whoever you've been in the past, whatever mistakes you've made, all the fuck-ups that you've gone through, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for all of it. If you can do this as a daily practice every single day, if you can practice radical forgiveness, and I know it can be hard sometimes, it can feel a little bit fucking cringy, but I find that one of the biggest things that holds guys back from getting the success that they want, especially with women, is shame. Yeah, is guilt, is regret of what could have been. But if you want to get the results that you want in 2026, and it's not about fixating on the past, it's falling in love with your future. And I think the easiest way to do that is to forgive yourself. Be a best friend to yourself. Be your own biggest fucking cheerleader. Because if not, you're going to go into conversations with women and you'll feel as though something's missing. There'll be like this invisible force which is dragging you from being the man that you know you can be. So forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for all the shit you've gone through, all the mistakes you've made, all the obstacles you've had to endure. We've all made mistakes, dude. We've all fucked up. We've all done things that we're not proud of. I get it. It's human. It's normal. But don't allow your past to define your future. Make the decision today, every single day. You forgive yourself and you know exactly what it is that you want, and write it down as well. It's important that you might have not done this yet, but one of the reasons, or one of the ways that I went from who I was to who I am today, because one thing I'll say before I say this to you, it's actually insane. Like if you actually go back on my oldest videos and see who I used to be, it's a completely different person now. I don't even have a connection with that version of me. I look back now and it almost feels like a stranger. It doesn't even feel like me. And this is what it takes in 2026. A lot of guys think that they see cold approach almost as this trick as opposed to a lifelong commitment towards mastery. Yeah, a lot of guys think a daytime cold approach and they think, oh, I'll just learn some lines and pick up chicks. Easy, bro. And it's like, you don't fucking get it. It's not what you say. It's not how you say it. It's who you are when you say it. It's an identity game. And a lot of guys, I think they see daytime cold approach as this gimmick. Yeah, oh, well, once I learn how to give women compliments sober, now I've got this thing. Yeah, now I've got this cheat code into the sexual marketplace. It's like, I'm sorry to break your fucking dreams, dude, but any guy can walk over to a woman and give her a compliment. That's not the game. The game is, how do you create bulletproof emotional investment? How do you connect with these women emotionally? How do you create an ultra seductive lifestyle that these women are desperate to be a part of? Because remember, women want to be invited into the adventure. They don't want to be the adventure. And a lot of guys, I think they get very blindsided by, I think a lot of guys, they spend years trying to overcome this thing called approach anxiety. And they think that their entire dating lives are going to get fixed once they can finally approach women. And yeah, that will get you far, but just being able to approach, like, that's the first step, right? If you don't know how to string a conversation together, if you lack social calibration, if you don't know how to build emotional commitment, if you don't know how to have conversations that convert into dates, if you've not become the most fuckable version of yourself, then you'll just become an approacher, right? That's it. And look, if that's what you want from your life, if you just want to go out into your city centre on a Saturday, approach women, have these mediocre interactions and never see them again, then fine, bloody good luck to you. But I'm talking to the guys who want to build elite rock star dating lives. Guys who, they understand it goes way deeper than just talking to women. Yeah, this is the most aggressive form of self-development. It's about becoming the most fuckable version of yourself. All this is a transfer of certainty. That's what game is. That's what sales is. It's a transfer of certainty. So the better you feel within, the better your results will be without. And I go way deeper in all this stuff in the free school community. So if you're new to my content or you just want access to my best content, which is more coherent, then the first link underneath this video, and also we're going to go balls deep properly this Sunday, 11th of January, 4 p.m. UK time. This will be your rare opportunity to ask me direct questions regarding your unique situation. So whatever you're struggling with right now, whatever your perceived sticking points are, whatever you need individually tailored guidance with, it's all going to be kicking off in that free school community on the live Q&A this Sunday, 11th of January, 4 p.m. UK time. So just hit the first link below this video and you'll get notified when things are going to be popping off. But that's the first thing that I'd say to you. Just get super clear on what it is that you want. Do you want a girlfriend? Do you want to be a social weapon? Do you want to find a wife? Get clear, because once you've defined your why, it's going to be easier for you to get yourself out the door. I find that the guys who struggle the most with daytime cold approach, they either haven't clearly defined what they want, or they just don't want it badly enough, right? Anybody can say, I want a girlfriend. Oh, I want a girlfriend. But you need to make your actions align with your ambitions. Otherwise, it's just wanking in the wind, right? Because Nietzsche said it best. He who has a strong enough why can bear almost any how. If you know you want to meet a beautiful girlfriend, maybe you want to start a family this year, yeah? If you want to start a family this year, then every opportunity you don't approach, those women that you didn't approach today, they could have been the future mother of your children, right? They could have been the woman that you spend the rest of your life with. This is why in 2026, you can't afford to continue living your life in hesitation, right? Don't keep being that guy who keeps delaying his own success for another day. Oh, I'll do it next year. I'll do it next week. Yeah, you put yourself out there into the field, then the excuses roll in. Oh, she looks busy, she looks bitchy. Oh, she looks like she might have a boyfriend. Everyone's watching. Maybe I need another coffee. I should wait for a better moment. And a lot of times we don't realize wherever you go, there you are. I think a lot of times we have this fallacy of the future. We think life is going to be different 1, 2, 3 months from now. But if nothing changes, then nothing changes. 3 months from now, if you're still making the same decisions, if you're still succumbing to the same self-limiting beliefs, time doesn't change anything, right? Wherever you go, there you are. That's why you've got to make the decision today. Who do you want to be? What do you want? And then fucking get out there. Make your actions align with your ambitions. This is what I did 5 years ago. I just prioritize imperfect action. And I think this is another reason why a lot of guys are going to fail with cold approach this year, is because they're waiting to feel ready before they do anything, right? Oh, I need another book. I need another video. Oh, I need another, fuck knows, whatever. And it's like, if I hadn't made the decision 5 years ago, when I was a porn addict, when I had erectile dysfunction, when I looked like a piece of shit, if I didn't make the decision to go out into Leeds City Centre and do my first daytime cold approach, none of the rest of this stuff would have happened. And this is why I think it's important for you to start thinking in terms of second, third, fourth order consequences. I don't know if you know this. I learned it from a guy called Sam Ovens. But if you understand second, third, fourth order consequence thinking, it'll change the way you show up in life. And basically what it means is your actions have consequences, but the consequences of those consequences also have consequences. So for example, by you not going out today and approaching some women, it's not just your dating life that suffers today, it's the rest of your dating life in the future. So by not going out today, maybe instead of going out to do some approaches today, you stayed at home, you watched some porn, now you feel bad about yourself, then maybe you get some junk food, you order some more takeaway, now you start to get fat, you start to get lazy, you start to get bitter and resentful. So if you can think in terms of, okay, the action that I take, it has a consequence, but that consequence has a consequence, then you can almost start to predict the future. You can almost start to experience events ahead of time by thinking to yourself, right, if I go out and I drink some alcohol today, if I drink too much, then I might get into some trouble and I might get arrested, and then that might affect my ability in the future to travel. I might destroy my freedom just because of that one simple decision. But a lot of people, they think very short-sightedly, right? They think, oh, I will do this, but they don't think long-term. But the guys who do the best with cold approach, with business, with fitness, they understand and they think in the sense of second, third, fourth order consequence thinking. So get clear on what it is that you want and just start prioritizing imperfect action. Okay, you don't need to be perfect at the start. You just need to show up. One of my mantras is fuck perfection, just show up, because there'll always be a reason not to start putting yourself out there. A lot of guys fall into this perfectionist trap where they think that, okay, once I've got the money, once I've got the body, once I've got the lifestyle, then I'll be ready to approach. But my traditional client, he has all these things on paper. Yeah, he is the traditional high value man. He's got the money, he's got the looks, he's got the status. But the problem with these guys is they can actually find daytime cold approach a lot harder because they see it as more of an attack on the identity they've worked so hard to build. Yeah, I've worked with guys who are extremely successful financially, 6, 7, 8-figure entrepreneurs. I've worked with guys who are screenwriters in Hollywood, actors in Hollywood. I've worked with guys who had it all on paper, but when it came to approaching women, they didn't see it as an opportunity. They saw it as a threat to the identity they'd worked so hard to build. It's almost like the higher they climbed, the further the perceived fall. That's why I think I found it easier to get started with cold approach 5 years ago, because I didn't really have anything to lose. It's not like I'd built status. It's not like I looked good. It's not like I had anything really going for me. So for me, the only way was up, right? That's why I just prioritize imperfect action. And this is how I get the results that I do for my clients. Like, regardless of who you are, regardless of how you perceive yourself, like all that shit, just take imperfect action. That's why I say, get those first 100 daytime approaches done as soon as possible. Yeah, just take imperfect action, because the thing why a lot of guys will fail as well in 2026 is they're just going to take too long to do those first 100 approaches. It shouldn't take you any longer than 30 days to get those first 100 approaches out the way. If you've been following my content for 3 months or more and you've still not done 100 daytime approaches, then that needs to piss you off, right? You can't stay as this armchair warrior who intellectually understands how cold approach works. You've read the books, you've watched the videos, but you've still not done 100 approaches, right? The only thing that matters in this game is action, but not just action. It's conscious action, because once you have done over 100 approaches, a lot of guys, they get hypnotized by effort, right? They think that more effort is the action, is the answer. It's not. Once you've done over 100 approaches, more effort will not get you more results. The thing that will get you more result is conscious effort, is being very, very clear on what your sticking points are. Where are you going wrong? Why are these conversations not converting into dates? And the way you do this is by getting recurring feedback. The only reason I got to a level that I was fucking happy with cold approach is I've had recurring coaching for the past 5 years. I started getting coached 6 months after I started. I started getting all of my conversations recorded, analyzed. I started putting shit out there onto YouTube for the internet to give me feedback. And when I work with my guys, they're getting recurring feedback. They send me audio recordings of their conversations. I introduce them to other guys who I've coached inside my private network, the Entourage. Being the solo lone wolf operator in 2026 is a fucking lonely game, dude. Like, I've been there. I get how it feels. You're going out, you're doing your sets. You've got no one to share it with. You've got no one to share your wins with. You've got nobody to just give you no bullshit feedback. Like, solo cold approach in 2026, it is a brutal, lonely game. And if you do have wings at the moment, make sure they're good wings as well. Because a lot of times, you'll get guys who you wing with, and they're like energy vampires, right? Because I think the problem with cold approach, if you don't have good wings, you can trigger something called status anxiety. I would suggest that you research status anxiety. It's one of the most sinister but powerful forces. It's not jealousy. It's more powerful than jealousy. You can do your own research on it, but a lot of times you'll get wings and they want to see you do well. They don't want to see you do better than them, because it holds a mirror up to who they could have been. So ideally, you want to wing with guys who are further ahead than you, who are better than you, who are not going to get jealous or triggered by your success. Because I remember when I was first learning cold approach, I tried to go out with a few wings in Leeds. So it was around 3 months after I started. I really just didn't want to be that guy walking around on his own, headphones in, doing my approaches. I just felt like a bit of a fucking weirdo, mate. So I was like, right, I want to get some other guys to go out with, make it more fun, you know, get somebody who can give me a push, etc. And the wings that I met, dude, they were fucking weird. I was like, these guys are just energy vampires. They were just like dragging me down. A lot of times, you'll go out with wings as well, and all they want to do is just talk theory. It's like, dude, I'm here to approach. Like, let's push each other. It's like, oh yeah, did you watch that video? Like, oh, have you heard about this? Oh, have you? Like, I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck. I just want to approach. This is why the guys who I work with, the guys in the entourage, everybody has to pass what I call a vibe check, right? Because I will not work with anybody who I don't like as an individual and who I don't genuinely think I can get results for. That's why I just put this free content out there, because the majority of people who watch my stuff, I don't think you're going to become one of my clients. I'm just putting it out there. You need to fit into a certain criteria to work with me. The guys who do work with me, they get the best results in this entire industry because they've got me in their corner, and they've also got the most capable wingmen on the planet. But it's not just a case of, oh, you've got money, great, let's work together. You need to pass the vibe check. You need to be somebody that I actually want to work with. And if you're not, it's fine. Just watch the free content. You don't need to pay me a fucking penny. But yeah, get the first link below this video, get into the school community, just watch all the free content. And if you're around this Sunday, the 11th of January, 4 p.m. UK time, that's a great opportunity to essentially get coaching from me completely free. So you don't even need to become a client of mine. You can just come along to the live Q&A, get your questions answered, and go on your merry way. But I think that in 2026, it's important for you to not just define what it is that you want and not just be taking conscious action. But I think it's important to understand that this thing that we call cold approach, it's not this gimmick. It's not this 5 easy ways to get any woman into bed. Really, I think why a lot of guys are going to fail in 2026 is they're not becoming truly the most fuckable version of themselves. Right? If you're somebody and you think that, oh, maybe you're still unsure. Maybe you're wondering, oh, do looks matter? Yes, of course they fucking matter. Right? Anybody who says, oh, looks don't matter, dude, game trumps all, they're selling you a complete pile of horseshit. Looks do matter. I can tell you from my experience, my results with women got increasingly better the more physically fuckable I became. Right? Like, as human beings, we like beautiful things. Yes, we've all got a genetic baseline that we're working with. Some guys do just have it easier than others. But what are you going to do? You know, you're going to spend the rest of your life crying, oh, well, I wasn't genetically gifted, or this guy has that and I don't have that. What I've learned over these past 5 years is the way you win at the game of life isn't by crying about the cards that you've been dealt, but playing your hand to the best of your ability and having a good time playing the game. There's always going to be a guy out there who has got more than you. There's always going to be a guy who's richer, who's got a better body, who's got a more fascinating lifestyle. But I think that as men, I think we are wired for competition. I think we develop our sense of self through comparison to other people. I think that can be healthy. I think a lack of comparison is the thief of progress. People say, oh, comparison is the thief of joy. Maybe. It depends on what you're optimizing for. If you're optimizing for progress, I think it's great to get around guys who are further ahead than you. And also, as long as it's within the laws of physics, if somebody else can do it, you can do it as well. But I do think a lot of guys get triggered by other guys' success. If you see a guy who's got a beautiful girlfriend, if you see a guy who's making more money, if you see a guy who's in better shape, for me, that's confirmation that I can do it as well. Do you know what I mean? And I think that there's a really, it's an ancient Hawaiian principle. I read it years ago, but it's always stuck with me. And the principle is, bless that which you wish to receive. Bless that which you wish to receive. So if you see somebody and he's driving a car that you want, or he's got a girl that you want, or he's building something that you want to do, bless that. Be grateful for it. That is the universe's way of showing you what's possible. But I think a lot of guys get bitter, right? They don't get better, they get bitter. They get resentful. Oh, fuck that guy. Oh, he's got something I don't. And the thing is as well, a lot of these low frequency dudes, they just try and justify in their mind why they're not winning. So they'll go into Instagram, and if they see a guy who's got a better body than them, it's, oh, well, he's probably on juice. Or if they see a guy who's got more money, it's like, oh, well, he's a trust fund kid. Or if people see my conversations on the streets of London, they'll be like, they're all paid actresses. It's like, they can't comprehend that other people can actually be successful. Don't be one of these people. It's crabs in the bucket mentality. You'll never get anywhere with life. This is why you need to get around high level guys, dude. Like, I've done this. 5 years ago, I didn't have a fucking clue. I didn't know what content was. I didn't know what sales was. I didn't know what marketing was. I used to use an air purifier as a fucking tripod. I was the lowest of the low. And over these past 5 years, I've completely revolutionized my reality. And getting around people who are further ahead than me, that was a game changer. Because you'll learn that you can become successful through osmosis. If you spend your time around 4 millionaires, chances are you'll become the fifth. And that's why when I started taking my coaching seriously, when I started taking my business seriously, I realized that a lot of guys out there, they don't just need in-person, one-on-one coaching. They need community, right? That's why I put the entourage together. And the reason why guys join the entourage is because they don't just want to be told what to do. They want to be held to an elite level. They want to be held accountable. Yeah, they want to see guys who are winning. They want to see guys who are like them getting the results that they didn't even think was possible. We call it the Bannister effect. You know the guy Roger Bannister? Well, before Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile, nobody thought it was possible. And then as soon as he did it, everybody started breaking it because he opened the floodgates to possibility. We've got guys in the entourage in their 50s who've got 25-year-old girlfriends. We've got guys in their 40s dating 19-year-olds. We've got guys who thought they were too old, guys who thought they were too short, guys who thought, oh, is my race going to work against me? We've got guys who thought that no matter what they did, cold approach would never work for them. And they realized that they weren't lacking belief. They weren't even lacking the right tools. Like, they knew what to do intellectually. A lot of times the thing that they were lacking is the support and also the permission to show them what's actually possible. Because I think that after a while, it's permission that guys lack. It's, is this okay to do? Can I actually do this? And if you see somebody else who's doing the thing that you want to do, it starts to shift your mental paradigm. You start to think to yourself, well, if this guy's doing it, I can do it as well. And I think the cool thing about the entourage is it's not this low-value Telegram chat filled with basement-dwelling retards. It's A players. It's guys who are successful in life. Guys who don't just want to have rockstar dating lives, but want to become the most fuckable versions of themselves across the board. Guys who want to be surrounded with the most capable wingmen on the planet, and guys who just want to crush it. So I think that when you are learning this skill in 2026, it's important, if you are going to wing with guys, get around guys who are further ahead than you, who can guide you, who can push you, who can show you what's possible when you just say, fuck it. But I think that if you're somebody in 2026 and you've made the decision that you want to go balls deep with daytime cold approach, I think something else which will stop guys making the progress that they want to make is they haven't truly optimized their lifestyle to be a social lifestyle. I think that a lot of guys, they think that just doing cold approach is enough to get them the results that they want. I think the problem that a lot of guys make, especially when they've done their first 100 approaches, is they stay on the streets, okay? The streets are a great training ground when you're first learning cold approach, but street approaching and cold approaching, they're not the same thing, right? Street approaching is approaching women on the street. Cold approaching is just starting conversations with women who you don't know. And it doesn't need to be on the streets, okay? What I say to guys is once you've done your first 100 approaches, and you've done those on the streets, because the streets will give you everything that you need to learn the skill of daytime cold approach, transition the skill set or transition the identity that you've built on the street to warmer social environments. So a couple of days ago, I had a friend of mine. He flew out from Bali to Bangkok, and we met up. We went to the Muay Thai gym, and then we went to a Starbucks. It's one of the, I don't know if you've ever heard of a Starbucks Reserve. It's like these like higher end Starbucks. They're actually fucking cool. Anyway, we went to this Starbucks Reserve, and we were talking about cold approach, social skills, business. And he was like, yeah, it's crazy, dude, because recently I've been going to salsa classes over in Bali, and it's so easy for me now to go to these classes because of the confidence that I've built with cold approach. It's so easy for me to make things happen now in salsa because most of the other guys, they're scared to lead. They're scared to initiate. They don't have dominance, and they haven't developed assertiveness and leadership. But once you can do something like daytime cold approach, warmer social settings feel piss easy. So whether you go to dance classes or improv classes, or maybe your local run club, or maybe you go to a mixed martial art gym and there's girls there as well. All of these warmer social situations, once you've got a skill like daytime cold approach, everything becomes easier in comparison. But I think This is where a lot of guys stay stuck. They just stay on the streets. It's like, right, must do 20 approaches this week, record the audio, do my sets, be the solo lone wolf. And it's like, you're not understanding what this skill is. This is simply learning how to talk to women who you don't know. And if you can already do that on the streets, I honestly think that if you can cold approach and you can do it well, right? If you've overcome all this resistance, you can start conversations. If you can get results with daytime cold approach, so you have conversations that convert into dates and beyond, and you've proved you can do that time and time again. If you're not currently a millionaire, I guarantee you will become a millionaire, because the skill of cold approach, the skill of seduction, it's sales. It's learning how to get what you want. It's influence. It's persuasion. It's the transfer of certainty. So I think that when you are learning a skill like daytime cold approach, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, maybe you're somebody who's aspiring to have their own business, create content online, build a movement, live an international lifestyle. The person you come through daytime cold approach and the skills that you acquire, the character traits that you begin to embody, these are directly linked with your ability to make money. So don't see daytime cold approach as a distraction, as something like, oh, if I'm doing this, then I'm not being productive. No, daytime cold approach is the ultimate productivity hack. If you've gone out there, you've done 10 approaches, you got rejected, you got some phone numbers. Imagine how easy sales calls are. Imagine how easy you'll feel to lead a team, to make decisions, to minimize the time between thought and action. So I think that in 2026, men will fail with cold approach because they don't understand what cold approach actually is. For me, it's the most aggressive form of self-development. It's a personal renaissance activity. I don't see myself as a dating coach. I don't see myself as a day gamer or some cold approach dude. I see myself as a freedom from bullshit practitioner. And if you're anything like me, you know that this goes way deeper than day game. This is living a life free from bullshit. This is creating a legacy for your future family. So you know, and you can tell them, listen, whatever you want to do, go after it. Take action. Yeah, take action in spite of fear. Yeah, go after what you want rather than settling for what you think you can get. Whatever people say don't do, or whatever people tell you that you can't do, fuck them. Go do it anyway. This is a 2 middle finger salute against mediocrity. And I think that in 2026, the guys who want to be excellent are going to get ahead. The guys who are happy marinating in the matrix of mediocrity, oh, well, she'll do, this job will do, this city will do, you're going to get left behind, dude. The dating landscape is rapidly evolving. I think the guys who are investing heavily into the art of face-to-face communication in 2026 is going to be a beautiful time to be alive. And I'm incredibly happy and privileged to be spearheading this movement. Nobody can compete with the results that I've got. Nobody can compete with the value that I've built over these past 5 years. And for me, I'm only just getting fucking started. So that's why I put this free school community together, because I want everybody who wants to be successful with cold approach, with women, with intersexual dynamics, you will be. That's why I put this shit together. So first link underneath this video, if you want to hop on the live stream with me this Sunday, the 11th of January, 4 p.m. UK time, then let's hit it, dude. It'd be awesome to speak with you in real time. If you've got questions, if you feel as though you've got a few things that you want to run by me, if you've got things that you're struggling with and you think it would be valuable if I can help you with that stuff, first link below this video, access the free school community, get over 60 hours of the best cold approach content that's ever been created. And this Sunday, the 11th of January, 4 p.m. UK time, you can answer, or you can get on the live Q&A with me. I'll answer your questions. I'll leave you better than I found you. And yeah, we're only just started the new year. I feel as though most people have already given up on the fucking resolutions that they had. But if you're watching this content right now, then you're not normal. You're probably a pirate, a maverick, a renegade, and you're probably one of my type of people. So yeah, listen, I love you all very much. This is just a start. Let's fucking get it this year. First link below this video, access everything that most people would charge you $99 or probably more for. Fucking charlatans. And I will speak with you again tomorrow.